We're fixing to go into our meditation. Want to relax? Relax your feet. Legs. Stomach. Every organ, every cell, every nerve ending, heart, lungs, every bone, vibrating at the perfect law vibration. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands. Jaw, tongue, eyes, tissue between your eyes and your skull, forehead, every muscle, every tension relaxed. I'm loose as ashes. That's who I am. Feel your energy flowing to and through the body. Every cell, every organ, every nerve ending, every bone vibrating at the perfect law of vibration. You can feel this energy. You can feel it change, feel it shift. That's who I am. That's who I am. Following along through the words that I'm saying, and as you follow along, you shift the energy in the body. That's who you are. That's who I am. Your energy. Information. You should think of the word love, compassion. Love and compassion for yourself. Feel the energy leaving your body. Love and compassion. You can feel it. And if you can feel it, love and compassion, you're releasing it. This is who I am. Remember, I'm not the body. I live in a body. I have a body. I do not say I'm hand, I'm foot. I have a hand. I have a foot. I live in a body. I do not have a soul. I am the soul. I want you to send love and compassion to the past and everyone around you. See the past. See as it was someone else. That is the old you. This is the new. Yesterday as the old you. This is the new you. Consciously aware. I go to the future. See the you. See the you. See all the love that you release. Grace, prosperity. I am abundance, I am prosperity, I am power, I am success, for I am always prosperous. See the services that you rendered now. Welcome back. Anyone else would like to share wins, aha moments? Our intuition tells us our physical reality tells us that we have come to a place. Where is this place? This is the future. This is the future when we go back a month ago. When we go back 3 weeks ago. When we go back a week ago. A week ago, a month ago, a year ago, we were thinking of ideas and they have come to pass, consciously or unconsciously. Very important. Consciously or unconsciously. But we have fulfilled a state. This is exactly what Alonzo was speaking about, was that he is experiencing the future. But this one's not on accident. This one's on plan. This was not on accident. This was on plan. Now, Alonzo had to believe in himself and then go and do what he believed. He's built one section of the goal and he's acquired it. And then he's been working towards the other part. And he's consistently working towards it. And he's doing it on purpose, to a definite end. So this means that we had calculated within 1, 2, 3 years where he would be. And if he stays on track, he's going to hit his goal on purpose. And he's already been hitting his goal. But there were milestones that he had to complete before he can get to the end goal. These milestones that he has to complete to get to the end goal are things that he had to do, but also who he has to become along the way is going to happen. Now, he would never become the man that he's got to become unless he was willing to take the action and do what he had to do to become who he had to become. So here has come this chain of events in a year's time, and he's learned something about himself. He's learned more about himself than he has ever before, consciously. Why? Because he's doing something he hasn't done before, on purpose, to a definite end, to this definite end. But the realization is his ability to depend on himself. His realization to believe in himself. And the understanding is getting because he's doing the actions. Alonzo, you would never understand this unless you did it. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you gotta understand it first. Yes, sir.
And you would never understand it unless you would do it. And what you're understanding is about a process. You're also understanding more about you and what you're capable of. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Amazing. Shifting reality. You'll be able to go back and tell when you made those decisions and when you were in the midst. When you're in the midst of making a decision, don't make it. Make it, don't make it. When do I make it? How do I make it? When do I do it? How do I do it? Do I do it? Don't do it. You're going to be able to go back in time and see the journey. You already can. You've already come a distance. You'll be able to look back 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You'll be able to look at how you changed, how taking on this goal changed you. Not only will you be able to tell how it changed you, you're going to be able to see how it changed your family too. Because you believe you're worthy, otherwise you wouldn't have done it. You'll be able to see the results. People are going to see the results. I'm going to say, look at you. And they're going to want to praise the results. Oh, look at the cars, look at the house, look at the home. But something majority of the people around you may never get to know. And that you will know. That what you've done, they have inside of them as well. That what you have, they have inside them as well.
It's like you say, Abraham. The goal is not to get, but to grow. Mm-hmm. It's the process. It's the process that changes you. It's the day-to-day things that you do different that changes the way you act and the outcome and everything. It's the growth.
Yeah. You're going to see the world through a completely different set of eyes. This starting point that we're talking about, and this intuition, the sixth sense that we're talking about, the ability to understand yourself, from yourself to yourself. Bob said it. He said, the divine spark within, this is what you'll know. That you've got a divine spark within and you were appropriating it. You were doing things on purpose to position ideas to further progress your life. The divine spark within is either consolidating into a higher awareness. It's always either consolidating into a higher awareness or it's fragmenting into the created. You'll be able to go back and see how many years you were starting to just fragment into the created. Although some of that you had to do to learn what you had to learn to do what you're doing today. Do you agree?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So this growth process, something took you, and I remember meeting you, and I remember you talking about how your father wanted you to go into the same line of business as him. And I remember you talking about your story. Why don't you give your story? Tell us of the shift that took you into the electrical side of business.
So my family comes from a law enforcement background. My dad it's a federal agent. He wanted me to follow his footsteps. One time I took him on a drive. I showed him the houses I like, the houses I wanted, and I told him that, do you see are you seeing the bigger picture here? It's like, no, what is that? It's like there's no cop cars parked outside of these houses. That means I cannot follow your footsteps. It's not what I want. It's not for me. I want more.
That's huge. That means you're aware enough.
He was kind of sad for a while, but he got over it. Now he's happy.
Yeah.
He understands.
Awareness to know where you're going. The awareness to know what you want, what you do not want, and know that every decision that you're making is conscious or unconscious. I was talking in Spanish the other day, and I was talking about I was stuck as a young man, and I was stuck. I was stuck for 4 years. Now, that doesn't sound like much, 4 years. And I was expressing a consciousness. And when I go back and I take those 4 years and you divide that by 12, that's 48 months. Then if you take those 4 years and you divide that again, and you got into days, it was 1,460 days. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? So for 1,460 days, I did the same thing over and over and over again to realize that I put me there. To realize that I could no longer go further in that expression. 1,460 days of fragmenting into the created. Bob said you are either, the divine spark from within is always either consolidating into a higher consciousness or fragmenting into the created. That means this doesn't stop. Today, right now, you're either consolidating into a higher consciousness. That means you're becoming more observant, you're becoming more understanding, you're viewing yourself, you're viewing your own thoughts, and you're having a higher conscious awareness about myself, to myself, in order to take myself to where I want to go, or I'm just fragmenting into the created all over again, every day. I did that for 1,460 days. Wow. Amazing. Where are you at today? Do you know where you're going? Is today going to be a repetition of yesterday? Never to know thyself anymore? Never to really understand yourself? The starting point is now to be found in ourselves. Wow. The starting point is now, right now. My mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation always for further expansion, fuller realization of what? Of itself. The starting point is now to be found within ourselves only. And it always was. It always was. To some degree, Alonzo, there was things that you had to do on purpose to learn something about yourself to yourself so that you could have the experience to be where you're at today. So that you can further progress to a worthy ideal. The starting point is now to be found within ourselves, for this is what distinguishes the individual process from the cosmic process. The starting point is now to be found within ourselves. Now, right now, to be found within ourselves, right now. Are you consolidating into a higher awareness or just fragmenting into the created? For this is what distinguishes the individual mind from the cosmic mind. Individual process, cosmic process. This is what distinguishes us from coming out of the wilderness like an animal to building our own economy, our own environment. This is what distinguishes the individual from the animal. Interesting. What is it? The ability to think, the ability to imagine beyond where we are and create your own economy, create your own processes, to do things on purpose to definite ends. Where was it? Alonso's found it. Alonso has found it. And he's doing something about it. Alonso has found it, and he's doing something about it. The divine spark within is either consolidating into a higher consciousness or just fragmenting into the created. Thoughts, takeaways. We can no longer deny what's in us. We can no longer deny that it's us. Any aha moments right now?
You would have to, it's like always self-checking yourself. You always have to self-check to see if that's where you want to go. So you have to be on guard of your thoughts, because whatever you're thinking, you're going to propel towards, whether feared or revered, whether good or bad, it's going to happen for you. So he had a goal and he was working towards it. So everybody has, and that's what he said. Goals are meant to get, not to get, it's meant to grow. So that way you can tell where exactly you're going. And if you're going in the wrong direction, you can self-analyze and say, hey, let's stop here. Let's redirect it.
That's intervention. Of what? Of himself to himself. Wow. Of himself to himself. Said this before, if I could put this in a shot, I'd give it to you. Walk around getting everybody shots. It's about being self-aware, awareness about yourself to yourself, your consciousness to yourself. 1,460 days of doing the same thing over and over again. You'll realize I put that hammer in my hand. I did that. And I had the courage to let it go. And I knew that I was worthy of more. But I had to have the courage to decide where I was going next. I had to have the courage to decide where I was going next. You want to look where you're going? Look at your feet. Look at the direction of your feet, where they're going. You want to know where you're going? Look at what shoes you put on. You want to know where you're going? Look at where they point to at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. We know where we're going. And if we're not consistently shifting it on purpose to a definite end, we're going nowhere fast. If we're not consistently deciding where we're going, and we're not consistently deciding on purpose to deviate into a new path on purpose to a definite end, we're going nowhere fast. If you knew the work I've done on me, constant space repetition of knocking at my door on purpose to a definite end, saying, hey, wait a minute, Is this what you're doing? Is it on purpose? Does it have a definite end? Over and over and over again. A lot of people think that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of conscious awareness. It is work because we were never trained to be this way. Is what you're doing truly taking you on the straightest path to going where you truly want to go? Or are you just wasting time? Are you deviating off the path? Are you wasting 4 or 5 years that you didn't have to because you couldn't make a decision, because you couldn't sit down and plan, because you couldn't hold yourself accountable? Because you were not willing to look at your week as blues and reds. Blues is taking you where you've already been. And blues can keep you stuck for 1,460 days later. To not take responsibility of where you're going. Or are you going to do things on purpose? Say, wait a minute, I've got to veer, even if it was just a little bit every day. There's got to be an intervention. There's got to be something I pre-decide. There's got to be what? An action I decide to do on purpose every day. It's actually going to take me to my definite end. 1, I have to take care of what I do today. 2, I have to take care of my family, my resources, how I earn money. I've got to take care of all that. I already know I've got to do that, but I am going to be consciously aware, consciously deviating on purpose. So I will commit 2 to 4 moves per day on purpose to my definite end and unfold a new reality. This is what distinguishes us. This is what separates us. This is what has taken us from the animal kingdom into a new frontier. What was it? Creative imagination on purpose to definite ends. That's what it was. Who was it in? It was in me right now. It was always in me. The starting point was always now. It was in ourselves. This is what distinguishes us from the cosmic law, the cosmic process to the individual. This is where the importance of realizing only one originating power instead of 2 interacting powers comes in, where it means that we do not derive our power from any existing polarity. We do not derive our power from any existing polarity. It is driven when the individual becomes aware of what? Who I am. That was it. When he becomes aware of who I am is. It's not 2 powers. It wasn't good and evil. We distinguish that. We distinguish the direction, mind and hand. One originating power. The only difference is we're consciously aware about ourselves, to deviate the path and create our own. God-given right. Somebody blessed us with the ability to originate, to think right now on purpose. For it means we do not derive our power from any existing polarity, but that we are going to establish polarities, which will start secondary causations. Wow. But that we will cause secondary causations that will create polarities. It was in me. Who created a polarity? Who put the hammer into my hand? Who created a deviation? There is no secondary cause. We create the secondary cause, mind and hand. Wow. Alonzo said, and I loved it when he said it, pray and use your feet. Pray and move your feet. That's how he did it. We make the secondary cause. You know how many people say you want to change your life? Oh, no, I can't do that. I don't know. No. Where's the secondary cause? Who created the polarity in himself? Nobody taught us about the mind. Nobody told us that we were going to get programmed. Nobody said, hey, son, you're programmed. And there's a polarity in you. One says you're more, the other one says I'm not, but you're actually one. When you can become one with yourself, you can inherit the earth. You can become one with yourself. Go the flow. This is an amazing thing when you really begin to understand it. And the truth is written all around you. The truth is written all around you. In what? Happenings. But they're not on accident, they're right on plan. For it means that we do not derive our power from any existent polarity, but that we are going to establish polarities which will start secondary causation on the lines which we thus determine. We determine them. Alonzo. I said, Alonzo, how would you like to see? How would you like to do this? And how would you like to do that? And then we started to talk and think about it. How would you like to see this? And he said, I can do that. And he started to say, I can do that. And I can do this. And I can do that. I said, God, then let's do it. We have one mind. We're expressing it. We decided to do this on purpose. We're in the business of helping people. We're in the business of growth. We're in the business of prosperity. We're in the business of finding people that are ready and willing to grow. But they've got to do it. Where was the creative process? Everywhere it's always been. In ourselves.
The greatest. Well, it is. What could be greater than in total sync with something very creative and very positive? Well, that's what we're saying here. The divine spark within you. It's always moving. It never stops flowing. It doesn't take a break. There's no holiday. The divine spark within you is always consolidating into greater awareness. We could have put greater in there. Might have helped. Or it's fragmenting into the awareness of the created. We just become aware of the results we're getting. And so we keep getting the same damn results. See, that's where the outside's controlling the inside. You're going to get the inside to control the outside. If you're letting your bank account dictate what you think you can do, or you're letting your past performance dictate what you think you can do, well, your paradigm's got you stuck that you're never going to do greater than you're doing. You got to go inside. You got to go past what you've done. You've got to daydream. You've got to fantasize. You've got to get your mind going off in a wonderful new direction. You've got to really start living. Who asked me that question? Somebody here asked me that. Who is it? Where? Does that help you? Good. Okay. Now, that particular lesson, it comes out in all kinds of places as we go through here. And you'll recognize that. Okay? So, let's, where the hell did I put it? Here it is. Let's take a look here. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. Now, we're over on, where are we? You might want to take notes on this. You're on page 13 or 14, either one. 13 and 14, they're both at the top is the same. Okay? So here we're going. to touch into one of the most powerful lessons that you'll ever hear anywhere. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. So right at the core of your being is perfection. It's there. Will you ever bring it all to the surface? Unlikely. But if you keep working at bringing it to the surface because you know it's there, then you're going to keep getting better results. You watch it in your craft, people getting better and better and better and better. And it just gets so, like I was talking to a demo today about George C. Scott. He was one of my favorite actors. The guy was absolutely incredible. You watch the movie Patton, and he believed he was a general in Napoleon's army. He says, I remember he's talking to himself. He said, I remember we were out there, it was right down there. We were fighting the carcinogenics, I remember. And you see his eyes and everything. The guy was phenomenal. Absolutely great actors. Lived it. They're in it. They're living it. They're not acting. They're living it. Well, I think I enjoy watching great actors. I don't watch many movies. I watch the same ones over and over and over and over and over. Like I like watching Peter O'Toole. They're so phenomenal. Because they live it. And that's what we got to do. You got to live the part. You've got to start at the end, work from there. You got to see yourself already there. You already got that award. Guess not you're going to get it. You got it. You see, when you really understand this, it has to manifest.
That's power. You really get to understand it. And you'll never understand a thing until you do it. Thoughts, takeaways? I see in the near future great men and great leaders coming out of what we do. I see great men and great leaders coming out of this institute, great leaders, great men and women coming out of our businesses. I see us flying to different countries and giving our stories. I see helping people. I see us sharing our stories on purpose to get everyone to really understand that power was always there, and it was always yours. It was inside. And help people to recognize it. We're going to go into our meditation. Want to relax? Relax your feet. Relax your legs. Stomach. Every organ. Heart, lungs, and every nerve ending, every cell, every bone in the body vibrating at the perfect law of vibration. Perfect harmony. relax your shoulders, arms, hands. Neck, jaw, tongue, eyes, tissue between the eyes and your skull, forehead, remember, I am not the body. I live in a body. I don't say am hand, am foot. I have a hand. I have a foot. Now I understand. Now I know. My mind is spirit in formation. And now I select. I select the ideas that are taking form. I have given my life to these ideas. Now I choose. Now I select the ideas that will bring life to me on purpose to definite ends. I select. Don't you think of love and compassion for yourself and everyone around you? Love and compassion for yourself in the past and everyone around you. Love and compassion for the future and everyone around you. You now understand. You are now currently standing under your results. You are currently now standing aware. I want you to go to the future. What does the future look like? Who are you? What are you doing? How are you doing it? It's been on purpose, on plan. Look at the new home. People. Beauty around you. Thank you. Welcome back. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.